While Nigeria's South continues to pressurize the major political parties to zone the presidency to the region, in 2023, Governor Bello of Kogi State has said there is no provision for rotational presidency in the Constitution of the All Progressives Congress. The governor was responding to the agitation by the Southern Governors Forum for a power shift after the tenure of President Muhammadu Buhari, a northerner. Governor Bello made the statement barely 72 hours after the Northern Elders Forum said the North would retain power beyond 2023 on the basis of its numerical strength. Despite his lack of popularity, the governor has not hidden his desire to contest for the presidency in the next general election. While joining us now from Abuja to give us his thoughts on the agitation by the Northern Elders Forum and other groups that have expressed their opposition to rotational presidency is Salihu Tanko Yakassai, popularly known as Dawisu. Salihu, a journalist and member of the APC, is the son of elder statesman, politician, and founding member of the Arawa Consultative Forum, Tanko Yakassai. Up till February 2021, he was the media aide to Governor Abdullahi Ganduje of Kano State, who terminated his appointment for criticizing the government of President Buhari for rising insecurity in the country. Shortly after his sack, Salihu was arrested and detained by the Department of State Services for expressing his opinion on the security situation on social media. Welcome to the show, Salihu, and thank you for joining us. Good morning.
Thank you very much for having me, and good morning to you, Lagos, and to our team and viewers.
Right, so where do you stand on the burning issue of the day? Should Nigeria have a rotational presidency? What would you like to see the two major parties in Nigeria do? How should they address this issue?
Well, this is indeed a very crucial topic for us to discuss, not just within the party, but also for Nigerians as well, for the political stability of the country. I personally, and this is my personal opinion, I am of the view that, particularly in the APC, power should rotate to the South. And even in the South, I am of the opinion that the candidate of the APC should come from the Southwest in particular. And I have my reasons for saying that. The reason is simply because I know, being a part of the APC family, I know what the Southwest in particular has contributed to the victory of the APC in the 2015 general elections, even in the formation of the party. They contributed immensely to the formation of the party, as well as to the success of the party in the general election. And as such, even if you look at the major contenders in APC, the major contenders are majorly from the southwest region of the country. So I see no reason why the rest of the party should not put its weight behind any candidate of their choice from the Southwest in particular, in order to produce the next candidate for the APC in the general election. So obviously, I think what has heated the polity currently is the remarks by the Southern Governors Forum, which they made twice in their meetings, the previous meetings, they made that proclamation twice. And obviously, as we all know, that is unconstitutional. And as far as I'm concerned, there has been no major shift towards the APC retaining power in the North, apart from one governor that has indicated interest, and then on the other hand, apart from backroom gossips that we've been hearing. But majorly, there hasn't been any indication by the APC that the power is going to be retained in the party. And as such, that is why I faulted the Southern Governors Forum, by going public. The Southern Governors Forum is a very important platform, and for them coming out twice to say that power has to go back to the South, I think that is unconstitutional. What they should have done is to reach out to their colleagues, particularly in the political parties, for those in the APC to reach out to their colleagues, and then those in the PDP to also reach out to their colleagues to some sort of have a bargain, to understand the need for diplomacy, to deploy whatever means possible diplomatically to reach out to their colleagues and ensure that they get the support of their colleagues in the northern part of the country and other parts of the country to ensure that the candidates emerge from the South. But I think to come out and say that it has to be, is a must for the South to produce the candidate is obviously unconstitutional, and this is why the Northern Elders Forum, particularly Hakim Baba Ahmed, had to react to that. They are reacting to these proclamations by the Southern Governors Forum in that view. So by and large, I think it is important for us to understand where we are coming from. It is important for us as a nation to understand the political stability of the country and do what is morally right. There is a difference between what is constitutionally right, and then there's also, on the other hand, the issue of what is morally right. That gentleman's agreement that has been in play since more or less 1999, it's more or less a gentleman's agreement. It has been upheld a number of times, and I see no reason why in 2023 it should not be upheld as well.
Okay, Salihu, good to see you again. Wouldn't you say it's because of the polarity of the country at this point in time? That's why those southern governors had to come out twice. Because when you look at hitherto, we've not had a country this divided. We've not had a country where we've had secessionist agitations every part you look at in the country. And the only unifying factor will be power coming to the South. So don't you think that's the reason why these governors did come out twice to enunciate that? And it looks as though, the politicians were not getting the memo. Because you see, when we returned to democracy in 1999, we knew where we're going. The PDP put forward Olusegun Obasanjo. Yeah. AD put forward Olufalaye. ANPP put forward Umaru Shinkafi. But when the AD and the ANPP closed up ranks, they put forward Olufalaye as a candidate, and Umaru Shinkafi was running mate. So on the ballot, you saw two people from the Southwest, because the country knew we had to go to the Southwest. Some people, made the argument, albeit to placate the fact that June 12th didn't happen. Chief MK Abiola did not emerge because of what happened. So we knew where we were going. Just like the same in 79, Philip Umedi and Alex Ekweme. But now, you're hearing rhetorics that are divisive. And people don't trust each other again. That's why they had to come out and ring it in. Don't you think that's the case?
Well, you made mention of the 1999 case, which is clearly it was done. Like I said, that gentleman's agreement was done more or less to appease Southwest in particular due to the annulment of the June 12 election. So that's definitely a different situation. Now, coming back to the agitations that you have mentioned, it's obvious that these agitations have been there. Even when Goodluck Jonathan was there were agitations from the north that power should remain in the north. But unfortunately, these politicians, they have their way of doing their own thing. They look at their own interests and see what will appease the people and what will get them elected, and that is what drives them into taking some of these decisions. So yes, I do agree that there are agitations currently, especially from the southern part of the country, especially from the southeast. So even if we are talking about appeasing people, why are we not talking about making sure the candidate comes out from Southwest, Southeast in particular, who are the biggest agitators? If the southern candidates are particular about seeing the presidency comes to the South, then let them push it for Southwest and not just say they want power to come to the Southeast. If we are talking about the agitations that you mentioned. So I think, like I said, these things have a way of coming to reality, and each party has its own way of wooing the people and doing everything possible to see that they win the election. That was what we did in 2015 when APC decided to field President Muhammadu Buhari as the candidate against Jonathan, which was obviously to bring those northern votes and ensure that victory was done, and it was achieved. So, like I said, they have their unique ways of winning the voters to ensure that each party wins election. Now, this is why, for me personally, I'm coming out to say, for APC, it has to go to the southwest. You know, I'm a northerner. I know what we have, where we came from in the elections 2015. So I see no reason why the APC as a party should not support any of the candidates from the southwest. You know, because they are the biggest contributors to the victory of the APC. You know, so again, you know, behind the scenes diplomacy is the surest way of getting the support of the political elites, you know, and not rhetorics that will seem. The only thing the statement of the Southern Governors Forum has done so far is to further heat up this polity. You know, now you have the Northern Elders coming out to say their own peace of mind. Very soon you will have another group coming out to say. So, you know, they have unnecessarily heated the already heated up polity. So it's not the ideal way to go about it. And like I said, which is very fundamental, there has not been any move, clear move publicly by the APC, for instance, the ruling party, to show that they want this power to return in the north. And they are the first indicator, not the opposition. They are the first indicator to look into. Our party, the APC, is the first one. If the Southern governors see any move by the APC to return power in the north, I assure them that there are a lot of us that will say this is not right. Let us ensure that the power there. You cannot have APC being in government for 8 years, you know, with a northern president, and then we retain power and continue. This is injustice in terms of what should be done, you understand? But they have not done that. They have only succeeded in heating the polity, and we are unfortunately going to see more rhetorics between back and forth between the south and the north, unfortunately, as we get into the 2023 elections.
Well, that would be unfortunate indeed, because one person's heating up the polity, from your perspective, is to other people bipartisan consensus, which shows unity across the South. And also, the Southern governors are not all in your party, APC. Some of them are in the PDP, so they do have the right to express themselves, which leads me to my question. You'll recall that Governor Devomahi, when he decamped to APC from the PDP, expressed as one of his reasons that he felt that the Igbos had been marginalized by the PDP, that the Igbos had given the PDP so much support from inception and had yet to be rewarded with that, you know, golden ticket as presidential candidate. What is your comment on that? And also, you have talked about how you think the Southwest, who performed so well for the APC, without which, frankly, we all know APC would not have clinched the presidency in this country. So do you have a preferred candidate from the Southwest, since you're so adamant about the Southwest?
Yes, so on your first question, I think Devomai should tell us if APC has promised him and other governors from his region, if they were going to give power to him or to them in 2023. I think that question should be put to His Excellency to respond to us. Because if his reason for the campaign is that PDP is not going to give power to particularly the Southeast, then has there been any move by the APC? Has there been any assurance by the APC that they are going to do the same to give power a candidate from the Southwest? I think that's a question that should be put to him, because as far as I'm concerned, I have not seen any indicator that the APC is going to fill any candidate from the Southeast. To be frank and candid, I have not seen it, and I don't think that's going to happen. Even if Southwest does not get it, to be honest, I don't see the APC giving it to anybody from the Southeast. Maybe Southwest, perhaps. I know one or two people that have been mentioned, but definitely not Southeast. So that's a question for His Excellency to respond to. On the second question that you asked, which is for me having a preferred candidate from the Southwest, I do not have one. You know, at the moment, of course, there are some people that I know have potentials. You know, there's a difference between indicating interest and then the ability to win the general election. You have to have someone that is a bridge builder. You have to have someone that across the regions can galvanize support, you know, can galvanize votes, and who is being seen as the nationalist. All these are indicators of who can win the election in 2023. There are a number of them, and if, you know, we have For instance, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we have the Vice President from Professor Emio Sumbanjo, and to some extent we have Governor of Ikiti also that is being put out there as a potential candidate. All these things are potential candidates that the party can go for, any one of them. I have my preferred choice among them, but the question is who among them can cross the divide and galvanize support and win the general election. It's not just about winning the primary election, but also winning the general election. So any one of them, if all these three are not okay to the powers that be in APC, let them present someone that they are comfortable with. Let them bring fortunately, the Southwest has quite a number of potential candidates. Even if you take away these three potential candidates, let them look at it and bring one that they know they can put forward and win the general election. But the bottom line is the majority of the candidates that can win election for the APC are in the Southwest. I know if they look out, do their calculation and permutations right, they might get a very good one that will win the election for the party in 2023, God willing.
How about Southeast presidency? What's your take on that? Do you look forward to a day where we'll see somebody from the Southeast become president of the country?
I think the major work that needs to be done is within the Southwest region itself. They keep agitating individually, but they have not come together collectively to say, okay, this is who we want. Not even who we want as a person, but let them come together to show a unified front to the rest of the country that they are in need, ready for this presidency. Let them show that unity. There is no unity among the governors. There is no unity among the political elites. There is no unity among the followers.
They've not shown they are ready. They've not shown they are ready to be president. Did I hear you say that? The Southeast have not shown they are ready?
What I mean is that not that they are not ready, but they have not shown the unified front. You understand? That is what I meant. They have not shown a unified front that they want this thing to come to them. Who are the potential candidates from the region? Who are they putting forward together to say, okay, these are one? Like I just mentioned, 3 candidates from the Southwest. Who are the 3 candidates that can be put forward from the Southeast? So the bulk of the work has to come from that region for the rest of the country to say, okay, yes, we've seen seriousness, we've seen togetherness, and unfortunately for them, this is quite unfortunate, they do not have the numbers. So that means that they need the support of 2 or 3 regions, especially one with a large number of voters, to team up together to form some sort of a marriage, marriage of convenience, to say, okay, let's do a little back and forth and see what we can come up together and present our own front. They have not done so, and I think unless they are able to do that, to be honest, it will still remain a mirage, for them to think they can get it, especially in 2023, which is just a few months away.
Right, I want to get personal now about your travails, for your observations that you felt that the APC government led by President Muhammadu Buhari had failed Nigerians on the issue of security, which resulted in you getting into serious trouble with your principal at the time, the governor of Kano, Abdullahi Ganduje. He ended up sacking you. And the next news we heard after that was your detention by the DSS. Can you tell us what you went through and what your thoughts are on the kind of democracy that we're practicing when, if stating, frankly, the obvious, got you into so much trouble?
Well, first of all, let me say that this is the first time I'm publicly speaking about this. And secondly, I think it is important. We can look away on so many issues, maybe lack of development, maybe the economy. We can all turn the other way and say, okay, maybe we can say a thing or two behind the scenes. But when it comes to issue of insecurity, especially insecurity that has spread all over the country, and we have given enough time, you understand, for the government to do what is necessary, what is important in securing the people and the property, which is the number one responsibility of the government, securing of lives and property of the people, you know. Unfortunately, when we don't see that translating into results on the ground, even if they are doing anything behind the scenes, unfortunately, it is not translating into results on the ground, you know. And as such, I felt personally that this is something that has to, you know, we can't keep quiet about. You know, a lot of people think I'm being sponsored or I'm being, so I'm doing someone's bidding. I am not. I did not plan to come to wake up one day and say, okay, I'm going to do this just to put the president and the government in bad light. No, that wasn't the plan. I woke up, I saw the news of 300 kids. I have two daughters and one son. I woke up and saw the news that these 300 kids have been taken away from their schools. What is a human being supposed to do, for crying out loud? Well, and this wasn't the first time. It has happened a number of times. As a parent, I felt it. I felt that it was not right, and you know, and something has to be done. I worked for the president. Buhari came and met me as a member of the APC. At that time, I was contesting for councillor in my ward when we were in APP. I started in December 20. That was when I started politics. I was almost 2 years into my political career when President Buhari joined the party. Since then, I have worked and campaigned for him. I was a returning officer for his first election in 2003, almost 20 years ago. I have supported him. I'm not an enemy of the president. I'm not an enemy of this government. You understand? But there are things that we need to get right. This is 6 years into the administration. We need to start delivering results and completed closing a lot of some of these major issues that we are facing, you know. And unfortunately, we are not seeing that result. Fortunately, now I can comfortably, and I posted this on my social media accounts, that the efforts now by the security forces, you know, at least we are seeing they are doing something. You understand? Even though it is not 100% successful, but we are seeing something. This is what we have been saying the government should do. You know, the blockade of network service in Zamfara and other parts of the northern region, you know, at least it shows that there's something that is being done. And for the first time on my own part, I see a coordinated effort by the security, the heads of the security agencies, particularly the Chief of Army Staff. I have seen him every time he's out in the field, you know, going to meet the troops, boosting their morale, you know, as well as the support from the Air Force. All these things, I'm not a security expert, but I can tell you that I have seen a coordinated effort now in fighting these insecurity situations. I've also seen some effort by the people now because they have the support of the government, federal government. I've seen some effort. There has been a coordinated response for the first time by the northern governors where they put some measures together uniformly. That was the first time that they are doing that. So this is what we have been yearning for. This is what we have been saying should be done. If we can look the other way in other issues, economy, development, the truth of the matter is we cannot look the other way when it comes to the issue of insecurity. We have to ask the government to do the right thing, especially given the period that we have given it. And personally, I have been affected by this insecurity. Okay. I know that a lot of people in the north have been affected by this insecurity, and we cannot afford to keep quiet.
Okay, Salihu, I mean, you kept on saying we can look the other way in other issues. So that means you're selective in what you're looking at, really. Is that the case? Correct me if I'm wrong on that, because you say you can look the other way in terms of the economy, development, but you can't look the other way in terms of insecurity. And secondly, is criticizing an offense? Why did the DSS arrest you? Is criticizing an offense?
So on your first question, look the other way means I'm not saying that we should just, the government should just do whatever it wants and then get away with it. But the fact of the matter is, if you look at, for instance, on the economy, you know, I'm not an economy expert, but if you look at the trend, you know that there's a lot of there are lots of issues that are involved. You understand? Obviously, there's a part of the government, but then there are also other parts like the low or the falling prices of crude oil, which is largely the reason that the economy is where it is today in Nigeria. We also have COVID that came and probably more or less put a halt to almost economic development and so on and so forth. If you look at infrastructure, you know, there are also efforts by the government, a lot of efforts. We have seen in record time how they were able to complete the Lagos-Ibadan rail track in just under 2 years. You know, we have seen the effort that is being made in the second Niger Bridge in the southeast. So there are a lot of efforts in terms of infrastructure as well that you have to give to the winner. So they are trying there, and if there are other issues, we can go behind the scenes and say, okay, this we have issue here, we have issue there. We can give them that credit for the effort that they are doing in other sectors. But what we did not see was that similar effort in the security situation, which unfortunately led to where we are. But thankfully now, like I said, something is being done.
Okay,
yes.
Okay, real quickly, Salihu, DSS, why were you arrested?
Yes, so to be honest, I think it is something that you have to also ask the DSS, because to be honest, I have not been provided with any clear reason. You know, they had some questions they wanted to ask. They asked, and I provided the answers to this. They found that I have not in any way, you know, violated any.
Is that why you left the country? Is that why you left the country? Why did you leave the country?
No. I took a break. People that know me know that I love to travel. I've been to 46 countries in the world, and I love to travel. And of course, I got sacked from work. What else am I supposed to do? Sit down in my bedroom and cry? It's not the end of the world. So
you left the custody of DSS, and all of a sudden you thought of being a global tourist. Is that the case?
How can I travel to 46 countries just after the DSS released me? You know, I left just to go and take a break. I was just gone for 10 days. I went on break and came back for 10 days. It's not a global tourist. I've been a tourist all my life, you know. It's not. I didn't start after my DSS arrest. So It was just a break. I went for just 10 days and I came back home.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Thank you for your time.